Vialli, 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 Vialli. A legend has gone. Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah. Sad news today. Gianluca Vialli, one of my all-time Chelsea legends, has passed away at the age of 58. That's no age. He has been suffering with cancer from 2017. He was in remission, then it came back, and it wasn't looking good at the end of the year, and now it's been confirmed that he's passed away. So what a servant he was for Chelsea, great servant. And he joined us. I remember when he joined us, 1996, I think it was, and just when it was announced he would join us, I think the last match he played for Juventus, because most of his career was Sampdoria, then he played for Juventus. The last match he played for Juventus was in the Champions League match. I think it was against Ajax. Did they win that one 1-0? I remember watching that game in the ITV studios, because there was a TV programme with hosted by Jimmy Greaves and Ian St John, which I had the privilege of attending, and we watched that game before we went on to the live show. And was it? I'm sure it's Ajax they played. I'm sure they won. Was it 1-0? Either 1-0 or penalties? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. But then he came to Chelsea, and you know, it was exciting times then at Chelsea, because Chelsea were, when I started supporting Chelsea, Chelsea were just not very good. We didn't win anything for years and years and years and years. But then the Bosman rule came in, and the Bosman rule worked in Chelsea's favour, and that allowed us to get the likes of Ruud Gullit came into the team, and Mark Hughes, and all these players we'll never thought we'll ever see at Stamford Bridge started to come. And then when Ruud Gullit took over from Glenn Hoddle as manager, he brought Gianluca, first of all Zola came in, Vialli came in. Or was it Vialli first and Zola? I think Vialli first and then Zola. And then, wow, yeah, I think so. Can't remember the way around. But we're getting these super Italians at the club. Di Matteo being another one as well. And I say, whoa, what's going on in Chelsea? We're getting some proper players. And Vialli, okay, we got him on a Bosman as well. He came, how old was he? Probably 31, 32. But this guy was still good. His movement was second to none. And what I liked about him as well is the way he hit the ball early. No messing about like we see in the club nowadays. People having 5 or 6 touches. I think Erling Haaland, the way he just hits the ball first time, that's what Vialli was like. And he didn't give the goalkeeper or defenders a chance to settle before smashing the ball into the back of the net. 88 games he played for Chelsea, 40 goals, which averages a goal every other game. And some of the highlights, I remember the 4 goals he scored in our 5 or 6-0 away victory to Barnsley. One of the best games, and this is a bittersweet moment for me actually, was because it was a game against Liverpool in 1997 in the FA Cup. Was it 3rd round or 4th round? But I was meant to go to that match. I went up to Stamford Bridge with my club membership with a friend of mine, or I thought I had my club membership. Went, queued up, then I put my hand in my pocket. Didn't have my membership with me. I queued up for 2 hours or 1.5, 2 hours. Didn't have my club membership with me, so I couldn't get a ticket. So they sold out in that day, so I couldn't get to go live. But the match was being shown on, I think it's ITV Sports. So I managed to watch it there. Not the same atmosphere, but in that game we were 2-0 down against Liverpool. Good Liverpool side back then. Stan Collymore, I think, had scored for them, and I can't remember who scored the other goal. Barnes, was it, or someone? And they were thinking, yep, job done, game over. Here's me thinking, at least I didn't waste my money going to the bridge. But yes, but it all changed in the second half. So Mark Hughes was on the bench that day because Ruud Gullit started with Vialli and Zola, and Marquez came on and he scored a goal. I think it was about the 51st minute. He came on, scored a goal. Zola equalised, and then Vialli came out with 2 goals to win that game 4-2. Great game. And that game, because we came back and won that game 4-2. Remember 1997? That was we won our first FA Cup after 25 years of 27 years of hurt. 1970 was the last time we won the FA Cup. Then we were back in winning ways. And had it not been for Gianluca Vialli and scoring those 2 goals, then we wouldn't be looking at that FA Cup win, and maybe some of our other trophies as well. So, thanks for the memories for that one. And another one was that goal he scored against Manchester United. Manchester United at the time, dominant force, came to Old Trafford. He scored that goal. We won that game 2-1, and we got that great song what the crowd still sing now. When the ball hit the back of the Old Trafford net, it's Vialli. So if anyone hears that song, that's because that goal he scored against them. And then Ruud Gullit, who I loved as a manager, the first black manager for Chelsea. One day, a friend of mine who was also a Chelsea supporter, we're in the office at the time, he goes, Max, Gullit's been sacked. I thought, yeah, stop me, you're joking, stop messing about, because it was just out of the blue. And then, yeah, fair enough, couldn't believe it, guy was sacked. And I was devastated, and then they said, who's taken over? We used to love a player manager, because Hoddle was a player manager, Gullit was a player manager, and then they said, Gianluca Vialli is going to take over. So what? Gianluca Vialli? He hasn't got no managerial, although Gullit didn't have any managerial experience, but Gianluca Vialli coming in, he took over, and at the time, we were 3rd in the league when Gullit left, and he was, I think we were in the semi-final of the League Cup. We'd lost the first leg against Arsenal, and then when I think the first match that Vialli took over was the second leg against Arsenal, and I actually was at that match. I actually got tickets for that match. I was at the game. We overturned that 1-0. I think we won 2-0 in the end, or 2-0, 3-1 or something like that. But then we got into the final of the League Cup, which was against Middlesbrough, which again I was at the FA Cup final at Middlesbrough, and I went to the League Cup final, and we saw goals by, was it Frank Sinclair and Di Matteo, and we lifted that cup. So he didn't have to wait long for his first cup. Then we won the FA Cup in the year 2000, another goal by Di Matteo, and then he won the Cup Winners' Cup as well. Gianfranco Zola scoring that goal. And so all these people saying, Chelsea were rubbish before Roman Abramovich came along. Really, this guy is the second most successful Chelsea manager after Jose Mourinho. So and that's way before Roman Abramovich came with his money. And we could have done, we got to the quarter-final of the Champions League as well. Fantastic results in the San Siro with that song, "Oh Dennis, why scored it?" That was Vialli was the manager then, and we should have won the game against Barcelona. That game still haunts me to this day. Again, I was at the game where we beat them 3-1, 2 goals by Torrejón Flo and Gianluca Zola scored a goal. But when what's the guy's name, the Brazilian boy Rivaldo scored that goal, the crowd went silence. We thought, that may be the goal that's what was going to give them the victory, because at 3-0 I was very confident of going into the semi-final, but at 3-1 we thought, okay, anything can happen. But then I didn't get to the Barcelona game, but I was watching it in a sports bar in London. We had that game. I think Barcelona went 1-0 up. I think, was it Jody Morris who scored for us? And then it came back to 1-1, and we're cheering. I think, was it 2-0? No, I think they went 2-0 up. Then we went 2-1. Then I remember when we went 2-1 up, all of a sudden these cameras came in, these TV cameras. I thought, because they were waiting for the Chelsea to get through and see the reaction of all the the fans at this sports bar. But then they scored a goal. I can't remember who it was it Morientes or someone with a header, and that deflated us. And then Babiara got sent off, and then the game went into extra time. They beat us 5-1, and it was really nice. So we're 7 minutes away, I think, from getting into the semi-final, and that was under Gianluca Vialli as well. So we've had some great moments under Gianluca Vialli. He's given us some good time, and the football was brilliant. the football was great. We had people like Gus Poyet in there playing. As I said, obviously Zola was still there, Hughes was there. So who else was there? Leboeuf, Desai, people like that were all there at the club. You know, some Petescu, some great players, great football, exciting football, and you know he was part of the reason on the field and when he was a manager, and it gave us some really good, exciting moments at Chelsea. So now he's gone and no longer with us. So rest in peace and thanks for the memories, Mr. Vialli. Okay. So, what's your thoughts on Vialli? Any of the older guys who saw Vialli? Any memories that you've got? What I haven't put down? What I haven't, you know, so stick your memories in the comment section below. And for the younger fans, if you haven't seen Vialli, go and watch some clips of him. You'll enjoy it. So, take care for now, and I'll see you on the next video.